Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to Modern Mining. Hopefully you can hear me over these fans. I'm gonna try to edit out some of this noise in post-production, but we'll see if it works or not. So you're probably wondering what the heck is going on here. Well, I bought 92 3070 GPUs. So let's take a look inside where I've got the majority of them. There's some more right here. Over there. Let's take a look inside.
Want to buy a new Asic miner but not sure which one to purchase? Check out today's sponsor, AsicPrices.com. Their website offers an intuitive way to research before your Asic purchase. You can sort by ROI if that's your thing, or daily profit. Don't forget to set your electric rate to make sure the results are accurate. Interested in only Caspa Asics? Switch the algorithm drop down and sort by Caspa only. See one you want? Select it and view a variety of useful information before your purchase. Historical revenue, historical price data. You can even break it down to price per hash for each specific vendor. Though I don't have any ASICs yet, I've been closely watching AsicPrices.com to find the perfect buying opportunity. Special thanks to Asic Prices for sponsoring this video. I'll leave a link down below.
Oh, nice and quiet. So this is what's going on. So no, these are not all for me, unfortunately. Maybe one day. But right now, I had a large customer build come in for 80 GPUs. So I went ahead and bought 92, 12 for myself and 80 for the customer. And I'm putting them all into these frames. And I'm about halfway done. So those 4 rigs along with the 2 in the garage are complete. They're mixed between 8 card rigs and 7 card rigs. Basically it'll be 11 rigs total. 11 with 7 cards would be 77 cards, and then 3 of them will have 8 cards. So 11 rigs, 80 GPUs, all 3070s, and as you can see, it's a wide variety of different cards. Asus, Gigabyte, MSI, EVGA, basically everything. So what I've been doing the last few days, and I've been extremely busy, I probably should have filmed a little more of this, is just testing and getting these rigs all built and cleaned up, ready for the customer to come and pick them up. And these beauties right here, all EVGA for the Win 3s, these will be going into my personal rig. So I'm keeping 12 cards, 9 of them will be these. One of these I already had, so I only got 8 of those. And then I wish I had 3 more to fill out a 12 card rig, but I don't. So I'm just gonna use a couple other RGB cards. And stay tuned because I'm gonna have an awesome rig build video of a 12 GPU, basically RGB 3070 rig. It's gonna be pretty sweet. So let's go back into the garage and take a look at what I'm doing on these rigs, what's the setup like on them, and also show you some other things that are coming up. So this will be a dead giveaway. I just picked up 3 4x8 insulation boards. I'm always showing my license plate in these videos, I'll have to blur that out. And a bunch of 2x4s. So basically, these rigs won't be here forever. They're just under testing right now. But I'm going to be improving the airflow situation. I discussed in the last video about I'm going to try this first, and if it doesn't work, go with the shed next. So I'm going to put this on the tripod and walk you through my plan. I'm going to turn these off so you guys can hear me a little better. So you notice there I had to turn off both the ATX PSU and the server PSU. These 2 rigs don't have Molex cables to be able to chain the ATX PSU to the server PSU, so it's just one button. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out this video, because basically anytime you're building a rig, you just want it to be one switch. It's so much easier, and that is the best way I've found to do it. So now that it's quiet, what am I planning on doing here? So my plan, and why I have all this wood right here, is to build a nice wide shelf right here, under 4 foot, but wide enough to fit my 39-inch 12 GPU rigs, because I'm going to be building a third of those with the RGB cards inside. So that frame is going to sit about right here, one rig here, one rig here, one rig here, and then those insulation boards I'm going to put on either side so that all the air is funneled through the GPUs, and then the third board is going to be on top of the rigs so that basically everything is enclosed and all the air has to come through the GPUs. I also have a 8,000 CFM fan on the way from Amazon. And this is a DC fan. I didn't even really know this was an option until I looked into it. But apparently this 8,000 CFM fan only takes about 100 watts to run 8,000 CFM. It might be like 130 for the max setting, but DC fans are apparently much more efficient. So I'm gonna build a shelf right here to sit that big fan on and then just have it blow directly out the window. And that's gonna double my airflow and bring all the air directly through the card. So if everything works out good, I think it's honestly gonna be no issues at all with temps for the rest of the summer. Now, once I get that installed, I'm gonna do an entirely separate video on the installation and especially checking the airflow. We were getting about 100 feet per minute out of those windows. Let's see what it looks like with the bigger fan, because if it's not anymore, then that means it's probably sucking my air out of my house, which we don't want. So let's take a look at these rigs I'm building. So this is my little test bench setup I've been working with. I'm limited by how long of C13, C14 cables I have, and also how long of Ethernet cables I have. You also notice I have a couple server cases, and these came for free when I bought all those GPUs. So I will have about 15 cards worth of server cases if I do have temperature issues. But onto these rigs. So that loud ass noise is these Lian Li basically server fans. They're almost 15 watts each, and I have them on this little fan splitter that also has this blue knob to adjust the speed. They're maxed out right now, but these things move a ton of air, and these cards are definitely staying cooler than those cards, even though the heat of those cards is basically blowing directly onto these. Now, there's a variety of motherboards here. There's this one which can fit 7 GPUs without any splitters, and there's this one that can fit 6 GPUs without any splitters. What I am doing is adding just a cheap splitter card to every rig so that I can get up to 7 or 8 GPUs on each one. The person I bought these from, they were using an M.2 splitter. And the issue with these boards and M.2 splitters is if you have an M.2 PCIe card in there, you can't use an SSD. You can only use a flash drive for HiveOS. And that was causing a lot of stability issues, so I ended up just buying splitter cards, and that's what I'm going to do for all the rigs. Some of the rigs have 600 watt EVGA PSUs mixed with 14 to 1500 watt server PSUs. Some of them also have like 1200 watt ATX PSUs, so there's a variety. The cards themselves, all 3070s, and only 2 of them are Zotac, so that's been pretty good. And all the cards have been in great shape, haven't had any issues with any of them, so that's been good. I did have one 1200 watt PSU die on me, so this is actually one of my own. And I tried switching the breakout board, that didn't help. It would basically run for 2 minutes and then it would just shut down. So the new PSU I swapped in has been working just fine. So the other 2 RGB cards that will be going on that rig is this 3070 that's also new. That will be going on there. And then on this far end is about the biggest 3070 I've ever seen. A Supreme X from MSI. I mean, that thing is absolutely massive. It wouldn't even fit in those rigs, so I just had to take this one for myself. But both of those have RGB, so they should fit the For the Win 3s pretty good. So I got a lot more work to do. Have 5 more rigs to test. video that they're working, put the customer's HiveOS info on so that every single one of these they can just plug into 240 volts and they are good to go. One other cool thing is I now have enough EVGA cards to turn this rig into 100% EVGA cards. So I'll take all those off. I'll put these 4 on. One of them is a 3080, that one. And then I'll put these 2 on and I'll have a full 12 card rig of EVGA cards, which will look pretty nice. And this one will just be a mix. So I got to get to work building this huge shelf and cutting this insulation board because my ceiling isn't 8 feet and I need to get some stuff out of the way. Take this frame off, take that fan out eventually. And we should be good to go. So just a quick farm update, guys. Big things happening. Stay tuned for the next few videos. They should be interesting, especially with that 12 card rig build. And I'll see you guys next time. Keep on GPU mining. Peace.